Hey guys, today I want to take a moment and talk about my new backpack from Hyperlite Mountain Gear. This is the Hyperlite Mountain Gear 2400 Porter. I've actually only taken this on one backpacking trip so far. It was just an overnighter. It did absolutely amazing and I love this bag. Now if some of you are like me, where I live in an area where I've never seen one of these before, I don't have any access to anywhere where I can go see what an actual like Cuban fiber pack actually feels like. So, you know, when it came to throwing down a few bills on a bag that was Cuban fiber, you know, you think about a few things. One, yeah, Cuban fiber is a wonder material. It's super lightweight and waterproof for the most part. But Cuban fiber has its cons, and that is, you know, its longevity, its durability. Also, if you're like me and you're looking at the pictures of these on the internet and you're not really sure what the material is going to feel like, well, hopefully I can try to describe that for you a little bit better. I'm going to go over this pack, tell you pretty much what I like about it, what I don't like about it. First off, the first thing I noticed whenever I got it is the material. The material is pretty thick. It's definitely a blend of two different materials. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm sure if you're researching these, you can bring those up right now. It's a Dyneema and some other composite fabric, whatever, which gives it a kind of a rougher outside. And the inside is actually, I believe, like the Cuban fiber portion of it, which is kind of that glossy finish. This pack is what I would consider very durable. It is not as thin as it looks. I think that you could take this on a 2,000 mile thru hike and I don't think you would have any problems with it. The material is thicker and more durable than I was expecting. The white. A lot of people don't like that these packs are white, and I personally do not like black backpacks because they're hard to see down in unless you have light facing right above you. The thing with this being Cuban fiber and white is it's like you got a night light inside this thing, you know. Pretty much in any lighting, you open this thing up, you can see all the way down to the bottom, everything that's in it. It's very convenient. It's got this little yoke thing to where if I want to store something underneath here, you know, you can surely have plenty of room to get something under there if you need more storage on top. I got a really good deal on the 2400. I was actually leaning towards the 3400, but a good deal came up on this one and I figured I'd give it a try. And luckily it is big enough for me, primarily a summer bag for now until I can get some lighter winter equipment that compresses down smaller. Right now my sleeping bag for winter will not fit in this. It's pretty big. But the 2400, you know, I was researching videos and I really wanted to know how tall these bags are because not only am I carrying all my gear, but I carry a lot of camera gear. My camera and microphone, they're about this big and I like to put them right on top so anytime I want to get a shot, I can stop, open this thing up, get that camera out right on top, and I wanted to make sure that with all my gear I still have room for that on top to not be totally smashed. But yeah, it works out perfectly. I'll get into that here in a second and show you exactly how tall this bag is. Looks like about 29.5 inches, maybe almost 30, depending on what end you're looking at here. It's about a foot across, about 8.5 inches deep. Maybe even more if you want to stretch it out. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of stuff in this. As you can see, it's still packed from my last journey. I went with the Porter version of this pack rather than the Wind Rider and the Southwest that have the big pocket on the front and the side pockets. And trust me, I would love to have water bottle pockets on the side of this, but I really just wasn't digging the look of it. I actually could have got one of those for the same price. I figured this would motivate me more to keep everything contained inside my pack. I don't like a whole lot of stuff hanging off my bag anyway. Plus, I figure for water, they make a water bottle that will attach to these daisy chains on the side, which is pretty cool. Thought about maybe getting that, or I might go with like a strap holder setup too. Another reason I went with the Porter is because I intend on putting some type of shock cord on the front. That way if I have any wet gear or anything that's, you know, pretty light, I can strap it on the front. Another big reason why I went with the Porter rather than the other ones with the big pockets is the side compression straps. They all have this lower compression strap here, but the Southwest and the Wind Rider have a compression strap that comes out of the side about right here and comes diagonally to the top. And I've had packs like that in the past, and a lot of times when you put stuff in the side, they'll kind of hang where because the strap's all the way down here at the bottom, so it's not going to hold it, you know, symmetrical. The Porter that has these two daisy chains up and down the front, which the Windrider and the Southwest do not. They also have a horizontal compression strap up top. So you got one up here, one down here. The 3400 actually has 3. But I really like that idea, a compression strap that comes from the bottom up to the top. It's not really compressing anything in the top here, so I wanted the ability to really keep that down, to compress the thing down symmetrically, as well as keep my gear in perpendicular. Another thing with this pack that I wasn't expecting is I actually got a hydration, a little hole right here for the hydration. I wasn't sure if I was going to have one of these or not, but evidently they sent me one that had it in it, which is cool. You know, I could see myself using a hydration bladder in this, but this not having pockets and stuff, I could definitely see myself using this hydration port right here. It has 2 metal stays. I'll pull one of them out here and show you exactly the shape of them. But it gives you this arch. It kind of goes up, and I think it goes back down in. Fits the contour of my back, at least, perfectly. Way more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. It's got a little pocket down inside, which, you know, is nice for this thing only having one pocket. It's nice to have that little bit of extra organization on the inside. Anything loose that you don't want flying around in here, you got a little extra pocket in there on the side. The shoulder straps, you know, it's a lightweight pack. It's going to have smaller shoulder straps. They are cushioned, and I will say they are perfect. They are absolutely, totally comfortable. I had about 15 pounds in this bag, so not a heavy load by any means. The most comfortable bag I own, I think. And I own a lot of bags. A lot of people complain about the hip belt pockets. They're not bad at all. I don't carry a whole lot of stuff in my hip belt pockets, as long as it can carry a phone, maybe, you know, a little tiny knife, or primarily a GoPro is what I keep in my hip belt pocket. So when I have my good camera in the back, I want to get a shot really quickly, or if I don't feel like taking the time to get that out, I got my GoPro right at my hip all the time, and it fits in these hip belt pockets just fine, and that's all I was looking for. The hip belt pockets are kind of a weird looking design, but I haven't yet to find any flaws. The material is not waterproof, although it has a waterproof zipper on it, which is really nice. And something that I love about these pockets, which I really didn't even think about until I got out there, one-handed zipping. I can't tell you how many times I put my GoPro in my hip belt pocket, and it takes 2 hands, because the zipper kind of gets stuck. It takes 2 hands to zip that thing back up. It's just a pain whenever you're carrying trekking poles. One-handed in and out of that pocket, it's awesome. Another thing I was worried about with this bag is it does not have load lifter straps. Straps that connect from the top of the bag to the top of the shoulders that you can pull down and pull your load closer to your head. I was really skeptical about this bag because it doesn't have load lifters. And I was actually considering going with the Z-Packs instead because they do. But ultimately, I couldn't be happier with my purchase. As far as pulling my load closer to my head, the suspension on this... Thanks, cat. As far as pulling my load closer to my head, it's totally not needed. Get out of here. Get! The load lifters are not necessary on this bag. It's added weight. You don't need them. I wouldn't even have to pull them any tighter if they were there, so it'd just be wasted weight. Now, this bag is actually a size small. I went with a small because I'm a smaller guy. I'm about 5'7", weigh about 145 pounds. At first, you know, getting the pack fit on takes a little bit to get it to sit right and figure out where you want a backpack. Any backpack is that way. And I thought it might be a little bit high up on my hip bones, but once you pull these straps down, if you loosen these up or pull them down, you can get that hip belt to fit wherever you want. So really, even though it's a fixed suspension, it's for a certain torso height, there is some amount of adjustability by how you tighten it. I absolutely love this bag. I'm not gonna lie. It exceeded my expectations. In comfort, like I said, I only had 15 pounds in it. Totally comfortable. I could have wore it all day long for days on end. I love the white. I gotta admit, I wasn't really sold on it first, but now I love the way it looks. It's going to get dirty over time, and it's probably going to look nasty, but it's not going to make me dislike this pack any more than I do now, which is 0. I love this pack. It was worth every dollar that I paid for it. I highly recommend it. I would say that anybody that buys one of these will not be disappointed, especially if you're going to be a thru hiker. This is 1.91 pounds, I believe, for the 40 liter, the 2400. I love the roll top. A lot of people are a fan of the Velcro. It's got really strong Velcro in it. I actually, since I stop all the time to get the camera in and out, the Velcro's actually kind of a pain for me just because it's so tough. But it'll probably loosen up over time. But it it's, you know, that's a non-issue. That's really nitpicking. And I mean, look at this. That's how high up over my shoulders this pack can actually extend to. But anyway, that's my kind of review on this Hyperlite Mountain Porter. I highly recommend it. Anybody that buys this bag, I pretty much guarantee you will not be disappointed. It is a higher grade material. If you've never seen it before, it's higher grade than you would expect. And what I've heard about Z-Packs is that they wear out over time. I don't see this wearing out anytime soon. So I think Hyperlite Mountain Gear is the way to go if you want carbon fiber. Cuben fiber. It's a little bit pricey, but you get what you pay for. Well, that pretty much covers everything I wanted to go over in this bag. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll put a video up here if you want to see this thing in action. I had it out on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia for a couple days. It did amazing, and I've fallen in love with this bag now. Well, I hope this review is helpful to somebody in some way, and until next time, thanks for watching.